So the first word that we have today is central angle. So write that on the blank side of one of these note cards. Central angle. Just a quick introduction to circles. Central angle. And then flip that over. In the top left corner, we are going to label what section it is in. The ones that we do today will all be 15.1, which will start tomorrow. Not only do you need to go home and define these, but it's probably a good idea to go home and familiarize yourself with these words. Alright, take your glue stick and draw a circle. You could be like me and mess it up a little bit, but it's better than if you can freehand it amazingly, then go for that. But and then take your straight edge and draw an angle with C, the center, as the vertex. And label the points where it crosses. Yes, the center. Alright, angle ACB is a central angle. You need to know also that AB is an arc. Arc is denoted with this little curved arc literally right over it. This is the only definition that will have like a measurement idea with it. The measure of this central angle, ACB, is the same as the measure of the arc. So like if this is 40, that means this out here is 40. That's the most in-depth we'll have for any of these. You then need to go back and write the definition. You can do that later. So once you're done with that, just put this to the side. You'll just need to write the definition somewhere now. Is inscribed angle. Inscribed angle. Then flip your card, put 15.1 and draw a circle. So 15.1, gonna trace my glue stick. And then you'll need your straight edge again. An inscribed angle, instead of the vertex being in the center, the vertex is one of the edges, like the edge of the circle. So let's say D, E, F. So angle DEF is and inscribed angle. And then you'll need to go define that. Alright, on your new card, write Intercepted Arc. We're going to talk about arcs now. The arc is the outside of the circle. Once you've written Intercepted Arc, flip the card and put 15.1 and draw a circle. That one looks better than the others do. You then need to draw the exact same picture, or close to it, that we had just a second ago. Because while DEF is an inscribed angle, DF is an intercepted arc. Because it's been intercepted by these two segments that have a name, and we'll talk about it in a minute. Alright, the next card. We are still talking about arcs. Minor arc. There are actually three types of arcs. There's minor, major, and then a semicircle. Which you know what a semicircle is. What's a semicircle? It's half the circle. I like to think about minor arc and major arc kind of like acute and obtuse angles. It's almost the same. It's just like double. Like, what is an acute angle? Less than 90. Well, a minor arc is less than 180. What is an obtuse angle? So what do you think a major arc is? Greater than 180. So, and a 90-degree angle is what? Which is equal to how many degrees? 90 degrees. Well, how many degrees is a semicircle? 180. So they're kind of the same. It's just doubled. Alright, so again, flip it over. It's 15.1 still. And draw a circle. Take your straight edge and draw a central angle. And label the points where it touches the circle A and B. C will not always be the center. I just like it for definitions because it's, you know. So AB is a minor arc. Minor arcs are less than 180 degrees. So on your next card we got a semicircle. Which you guys already told me is 180 degrees because the semicircle is actually what? It's half a circle. Strange enough, though, when you get to talking about a sphere, it's called a hemisphere, you know, because we live in the northern hemisphere instead of a semi-sphere. It's a hemisphere. I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to flip that over. And I'm going to draw a circle, right, 15.1. 15.1. And then you're going to draw a diameter. That's what a semicircle is. A, B. So AB is a semicircle. A semicircle is 180 degrees. Alright, on your new card, write major arc. Minor arc is less than 180. A semicircle is exactly 180, so major arc is greater than 180 degrees. A major arc has to be named with 3 letters, and you're going to see what I mean when we flip it over and draw our circle. It has to be named with 3 letters. So 15.1. 15.1, by the way, is the one that has the most. We're only doing the 15.1 today, but it has, I think it's either 7 or 8 terms. That's a really bad circle this time. We're going to draw some kind of angle. It doesn't matter if it's acute or obtuse or whatever, because depending on the way you look, it could be either. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. A, put a point over here called B and D. Alright, there is absolutely a reason that you have to name a major arc with 3 letters. Our major arc is ABD. All major arcs are greater than 180 degrees. Here is why I have to name it with 3 letters. It goes in the order it says, A, B, D. If you said, oh, AD is a major arc, that's not true, because I would be like, okay, AD, that's a minor arc. You have to use more than 2 letters to name a major arc. It's got to, and it goes in the, literally goes in the direction that the letters are. So there's a major arc. Alright, for the next one you need to write adjacent arcs. We've talked about adjacent angles. Does anybody remember an adjacent angle? What they are? Or how about in trig, opposite adjacent? What does adjacent mean? It's the one touching. That's what adjacent arcs are. It's also what adjacent angles are. Adjacent angles are 2 angles that are touching. Adjacent arcs are 2 angles that are 2 arcs that are touching. So flip that over and we're going to draw a circle. 15.1. 15.1 is not difficult mathematically. It's that there's so many new terms that you've never heard of before, which I'm hoping to fix today. C. An adjacent arc, we literally just have, hey, here's an arc AB, and BD is next to it. So AB and BD are adjacent arcs. There's a theorem or a postulate that we'll learn about tomorrow that deals with adjacent arcs, but you gotta know what they are. Alright, last one is chord, and it's with a H. C-H-O-R-D. Chord. Flip that over. 15.1, draw a circle. The next time we do circle definitions, we'll only have like 3 or 4 in the same day. We will not have this many again. Which that's almost all we're doing today. There's one concept that we're actually going to make sure we master. That's about it. Alright, taking your straight edge. A chord is just a segment in the circle. That's all it is. A, B is a chord. The piece above AB, that is a line segment, because this is a segment inside the circle. It's not curved in any way. The diameter is a special chord, but the diameter is a chord because it touches in 2 places. Notice it doesn't go outside the circle at all. There will be one next week that goes outside of the circle. There's actually 2 that go outside the circle. We'll talk about that next week. You need to take all of these later, whether we probably will have some class time or tonight for homework. You need to define them out of the back of your textbook. You need to put these and the extra ones that we'll do next week in the pocket that you have been given. That pocket goes glued on 122. On the back of this, I need you to cross out 19 through 21. They're talking about finding the length of the arc. We learn how to do that in 2 weeks, not right now. The rest of it is fine and you can do, okay? Alright, before we even look at the problem, something we're going to do is label this entire circle. The circle says, not the circle, the instructions say, measure of angle TEG is 21 degrees. And TR is the diameter. If TR is the diameter, how many degrees around is this? 180. Well, if this is 90, what's this? How do we find this missing angle? Okay, you can either do 90 plus 90 plus 21 and subtract from 360 because there's 360 degrees. Or you could do 180 minus 21. It doesn't matter, but I need that number answer. $159. It's a good idea to always label every single piece inside of a circle. Those are all central angles. You are only dealing with central angles for problems today. We'll do inscribed tomorrow. Alright, so let's do an example or two just to make sure we kind of understand. TG is talking about the arc. Is this a major arc or a minor arc or a semicircle? It's a minor arc. Okay. How about its measure? The central angle is 21, so what's the arc's measure? 21. That's what your central angle card says. It says if the central angle is 21, the arc is 21. Let's skip down and talk about 17. 17 says ARG. Go in the order, ARG. Is that a major or minor or a semicircle? Definitely a major arc. How do I find the degrees of ARG? 90 plus 159, which is 249. That is how you are going to do the entire back. Okay? The only difference is 22 through 27. you have to set them equal to each other and solve for x, but then write down what you know. You're working on this for the rest of class.